Hey everybody, David here, and we're going to be taking a look at the new dwarf subrace, the Grey Dwarf or Duergar. And it was just released in the new Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. And when you choose a race in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, you will get core features for that race. And as you can see here for the dwarf, you're going to get quite a few racial features. The first one that you get just for being a dwarf, all dwarves, there's many different types of dwarves, but so far in D&D 5th edition there is a mountain dwarf, a hill dwarf, and now the Duergar or Grey Dwarf, which is an Underdark dwarf that was imprisoned by the Illithids for many of years, but now have their independence. So you're going to get baseline dwarf, you're going to get 2 to your constitution. The age of the dwarf, they will mature, same rate of humans, but they are considered young until they reach the age of 50. On average, they live to be about 350 years old. So you can get a lot of adventuring out of a dwarf. So alignment, you can be any alignment that you choose to be, whether you want to be a more a typical do-gooder, or if you want to be a mischievous, chaotic character, you can do that. Or if you want to go straight down the middle, take the middle road and go neutral, you can do that as well. There's really no restrictions on alignment in D&D 5th edition. You play the character how you want to play. Now the dwarves, they are considered a medium creature, and you will stand between 4 and 5 feet tall and weigh about 150 pounds. The speed of the dwarf will be 25 feet, a little bit slower than most of the other classes, but a good thing about being a dwarf is your speed will not be reduced by wearing heavy armor. For vision, you're going to get dark vision, which this is because of you're accustomed to life on the grounds and in the caves and the mountains, and this is where you're going to be able to see dim light within 60 feet of you as if it was bright light. And in pure pitch black darkness, you'll be able to see it like if it was dim light. And you cannot discern color in darkness, only in shades of gray. You're also going to get Dwarven Resilience. This is where you're going to have advantage on saving throws against poison, and you also have resistance against poison damage. And if you don't know what advantage is you roll twice, take the highest roll, so it's a big benefit to have advantage. And for resistance in D&D 5e means that you take half damage. You're also going to get Dwarven Combat Training. This is where you're going to get your proficiency bonus with, or you're going to be proficient so you can use battle axes, hand axes, light hammers, and war hammers. Tool proficiencies, you're going to gain a proficiency with the artisan tools of your choice between smith tools, brewer supplies, or masonry's tools. You'll also get stone cunning, and this is whenever you make an intelligence history check related to the origins of dwarven stonework. You are considered proficient in the history skill, and you can add double your proficiency bonus to that skill check as long as it has something to do with the origin of stonework. And you would add the double proficiency instead of your normal proficiency bonus. Next, for languages, you'll be able to speak, read, and write Common and Dwarvish. And last but not least, as I was talking about earlier, this is to do with the new Grey Dwarf, which is the Duergar. So you get everything that we've already talked about for base dwarf, and for this subrace, the Duergar, which live under the Underdark, you get another ability score increase, which is going to be +1 strength. So total you'll get +1 strength and +2 con. You will get superior dark vision because your normal dark vision gives you 60-foot dark vision, but with superior dark vision you now have double that. So 120 feet. That is ridiculous. You're also going to get another language on top of Common and Dwarf. You're also going to get Undercommon, which is very important, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of Underdark adventuring. you're also going to get Duergar Resilience. And this is where you're now going to get advantage on saving throws against illusions and against being charmed or paralyzed. Really nice. You're also going to get Duergar Magic, and this is actually really, this is like the bread and butter of becoming a Duergar. Now, when you reach 3rd level, you're going to be able to cast the Enlarge spell on yourself, and once with this trait. And once you do this, then you'll have to finish a long rest before you cast Enlarge again. Now, when you reach 5th level, you'll also be able to cast the Invisibility spell on yourself once with the trait. And then, again, you won't need any material opponents for either Enlarge or for Invisibility. And, like I said, you'll have to have a long rest. One other stipulation is you won't be able to cast these 2 spells while you're in direct sunlight. All right. And Enlarge is pretty nice because you actually double your size, and you also do more bonus damage as well. Now also, you're going to get, the last thing is sunlight sensitivity. So, most of the time with pros, there's also cons. And this is actually a big con for being a Duergar or Grey Dwarf. And unfortunately, this is where you're going to gain disadvantage, and disadvantage is where you roll twice and take the lowest roll. So you'll have disadvantage on attack rolls and wisdom perception checks that rely on sight when you target the attack. This is going to happen when you are in direct sunlight. So if you're going to be doing a lot of adventuring, on the the upper world, on the surface, you may want to think about playing a Duergar. But if you're going, Duergar in for the Underdark campaign, any kind of campaign setting like that, I would highly recommend the Duergar Dwarf. But with the sunlight sensitivity, that is a big drawback, especially disadvantage on all attack rolls and wisdom perception checks, and that is for the lifetime of the character. So unless you come up with something with your dungeon master and work that out, but I really don't see that with the lore of the Duergar Dwarf. So, but anyways, guys, you can now play a Duergar Dwarf. Play away. It would also, if you come up with a good backstory, maybe you could get rid of that sunlight sensitivity for it's ultimately up to your dungeon master anyway. So. Anyways, thank you guys very much. What do you think about the Duergar? I think the Duergar is a very strong race, especially for melee types of fighters. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Also, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow, like, share, all that good stuff. And until next time, happy gaming.